Do you remember where we were last episode? That's right, Ermengarde was being stupid. I forget everything, I always have. This is because of the languages, right? Yeah, my father, he speaks 7 or 8 languages, and we picked up French because our parents knew and then Ermengarde didn't. My father never forgets. He has libraries with thousands of volumes of them, and he knows every one of them by heart. I'm not sure that's true. He says that when I was very young, he used to speak to me in different languages every day because he hoped that I would learn them all, but it only made me cry. My nurse made him stop because she was afraid he would confuse me so much I would give up on talking altogether. To be fair, I guess talking 1 language extra and talking 7 languages extra are somewhat difficult. I heard it from her that he says I'm a severe trial, because he is so clever and I am notably and unmistakably dull. I'm the monument dunce of the school. Well, you're the one that said that, not me, alright? If I bring it up, it's because you said it, so I'm allowed to reference that now. I can't speak French, I can't recite poems without flubbing the words, my handwriting is too big and lumpy. That's easily fixed. I can't calculate quickly, I think you mean do mental arithmetic. I can't keep my king straight. What the fuck does that mean? I'm not good at anything. But you are clever, aren't you, Sarah? The question was asked with a touch of awe in her voice. It made Sarah feel slightly odd to be the subject of such open admiration. Sarah looked out of the window into her dingy square, where the sparrows were hopping and twittering in the wet iron railings, and the sooty branches of the trees reflected a few moments. People have often said that I am clever, but am I? If I am, then how did I end up to... It's a natural thing. You can't... Growing up definitely helps, but, I mean, for the most part, it is going to sort of be ingrained in you. I don't know, I can't tell. Also, being well-read and being clever are 2 completely different things. Let's just get that out of the way now. I think you are. I think you're wonderful. Ermengarde did not know why a lump came into her throat and her eyes felt as if tears were in them. Lavinia and Jessie are best friends. I wish we could be best friends. Well... Yeah, sure. You're clever, and I'm the stupidest child in the school, but I do so like you. This isn't how you go making friends, people of the internet. If you're trying to do that, if you're trying to make friends in real life, don't go around saying this. I'm glad of that. It makes you thankful when you are liked. She stood up from the window and took Ermengarde's hands in hers. Yes, we will be friends, the very best of friends. God, I can't wait to meet this fucking 6th character. And I'll tell you what else. A sudden gleam lit her face. Shut up! No, it's all a lie! Is that it? God damn it. I can help you with your French lessons. You can try. I can try, yes. I think I hear Sarah coming. Quickly, step inside. Don't let her see us. But why? Shh. Lavinia took hold of her friend's shoulders and pushed her back against the wall. Wait a moment. There, she's gone. Why are we avoiding Sarah? Ever since she got that letter, it's been nothing but India this and India that. If I have to hear her say that word again, I'm afraid the hair will fly right off my head. It's a bit young to be wearing wigs, isn't it? I like her stories. Do you know her father has faced down a tiger? He shot the one whose skin Sarah has in her room. Oh, right, okay, I see. It's not that she's genuinely bored, she's just sick of everyone talking about it. That's why she likes it so. She lies on it and strokes its head and talks to it as if it were a cat. There's something horribly wrong and sadistic about that. That is simply disgusting. If it were a cat, it would be the one that he had killed. What next? Will she drown a Tybalt and then have him stuffed for a pillow? I don't think it's the same thing at all. Sarah says the tiger was attacking an outpost and he had to shoot it. Sarah tells stories, you know that. Well, I think her father sounds very interesting, and so does India. It's a filthy, disgusting place ranked with foul humours, and don't you forget it. Come along now. All right. Lavinia led and Jessie followed. They're not very nice people. Luckily, we'll be ignoring them for the most of this. Right, we need patience and belief. What one was patience? Time. Okay, so time and belief here. Fuck it. We're antisocial this week. What was that? Outside? Not on my fucking watch. Done. So we're bound to get either belief and patience each time, right? Could do with not getting so many of that, but whatever. Go on, just one belief. Not a single day with 2 belief. I'm getting very lucky when it comes to this. Whatever, we're up in most things now. Ermengarde, what do you have there? A new book? The plump girl sighed, showing none of the delight Sarah would have found in such a possession. My father sent it to me to be enriching. Enriching? What, is it a dessert? Are the pages lined with dollar bills? Like, I guess back in this day it would have been pound notes. But whatever. I don't see how books have made me any richer so far. May I see it? She took down the volume from Ermengarde's hands and examined the gold lettering on the cover. Poems Antiques by Le Comte de Lille. A book of French poetry. Sarah's excitement only deepened the other girl's dismay. Would you like me to read it with you? I'm certain that if... What's this? Oh, Sarah, you have a new book, French poetry. Very improving. As long as it isn't one of those shocking new decadent poems, a proper lady should not read such works. I'm sure it's nothing of the sort. What would you know about it? I was speaking to Sarah. Actually, the book belongs to Ermengarde. What? Don't be silly. She can't even read it. Ermengarde grabbed the book. It's mine. She turned and walked away. You ought not to tease her so. I didn't say anything that isn't true. What good is a book of French poetry to someone like her? Such a waste. She'll probably never open it. She should have simply given it to you. I admit, you know that I am... Admit it. You know that I am right. Well, not quite. You may be right, but it was a gift from her father. I'm sure she will treasure it. Oh, God, we just admitted she was right. That's the only thing she wants from this. She is in here for no other reason. Not every girl is as devoted to her father as you seem to be, Sarah Crewe. What are you trying to even... whatever. Okay, so... Penis. You cannot come quick enough. Get this girl right here. Cannot come quick enough. Sarah and Ermengarde walked through the halls of Miss Minchin's together, hand in hand. Dancing lessons. She sighed noisily, her shoulders rising and falling. I wish that being hopeless at books meant that I was good at something else instead. My father wouldn't be happy if I were only good at dancing, but at least Miss Minchin wouldn't look at me so disapprovingly. But it is something else for me to fail at. I feel so heavy and graceless compared to the other girls. She is heavier than the other girls, but she isn't graceless. Don't... For someone who was brought up properly, we don't half say a bunch of stuff which has no tact to it whatsoever. Jesus. I think you move very well. You are always in time with the music. Lavinia isn't. But I don't look right when I move my arms, and the dance masters always frown at me. If it helps, I can't dance for shit either. Look, we'd fit right in. Jessie is the best of us. She looks like a flower in the breeze, like a gloriosa lily, because its petals are long and red and wavy like her hair. They tell us we should try and move like a field of... whatever the fuck that is. I never feel like a whatever the fuck that is. I know what a never the fuck that is looks like, and I am not one. They reached Sarah's room and took seats upon the bed. What is a... Alright, fine. Celandine, okay? I said it. It's probably wrong. It's Kellandine or Chellandine or something weird. I don't think we had them in India. Oh, a little yellow flower. That's the lesser Celandine. They're not very tall, but the flowers are very bright with lots of yellow petals, like this. She held up her hands, curling her fingers around. They come up early in spring. They grow in great bunches in the woods all over the ground. Mostly the leaves, but with little bright dots of flowers. The other kind is taller. The flowers are yellow, bright yellow, but they only have 4 petals. It sounds awfully like a fucking sunflower. Sunflower? Dandelion? Look, I'm showing my complete lack of knowledge in all things trees and plants and flowers. I suck when it comes to this sort of thing. I like to think I have some sort of vague general knowledge about some things, but... oh. Fucking flowers, man. I'm sure I may have seen those, I'm not sure. What flowers grow in India? Wild in India. Oh, many kinds. Tall spikes covered with purple orchids that nod down. Flowers with petals pink as lips that grow straight up from the ground with no stems. I don't know all their names. I wish you could have brought some with you. If I had picked flowers in India before I left, they would have died and fallen apart on the ship. Ermengarde hung her head. I'm sorry, it was a stupid idea. No, I wish I could have brought you flowers to see as well. Perhaps someday I will learn to draw and paint with watercolours. Then I could make pictures of flowers so that I could bring them to show you. So young, so naive. Can you draw? I don't know. She held out her hands in front of her, examining the stubby fingers and their short, blunt nails. Nothing wrong with having short, blunt nails. How dare you? I wouldn't expect that I can. Your hands are so delicate, Sarah. That's the way a lady's hands should be. Sarah pressed her palm against Ermengarde's. Her fingers seemed almost the same length, but more narrow. Well, Emily's fingers are much rounder and shorter than yours, and she is still a lady. Your hands are stronger than mine, I'm sure. There are many things your hands can do that mine can't. Yeah, fucking... probably not. But you can do everything. Sarah's eyes took on a mischievous glint. Only magic can do everything. I hope that's not a phrase she gets out a lot. Imagine what I could do with this school if I really could do everything. So dumb and childlike. Ah, Mariette, you... Oh, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to disturb you. She's sitting there, mate, with her hand in her pocket. I'm sure she's not up to much. It's quite all right. Are you reading? Wait, that book, I've seen it before. It's the same familiar copy of Poems Antiques. Your friend Ermengarde St. John made a gift of it to me. She thought I might appreciate a volume de Poesis Français to feel more at home. That means French poetry. This guy, right here. All of the French I know. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't think of it. Would you like me to buy you more books in French? I don't mind. No, mademoiselle, I am content. But it was very a kindly thought of Ermengarde's for such a young girl to notice and think of a maid, one who was not in her employ. Many would not. Ermengarde is very nice. Yeah, well, we'll see how that gets in her career. Actually, hang on. This is back in the olden days of sexism when, you know, females just married off and didn't have careers other than the queen, but that was a more sort of born thing. I got details. It's fine. Oh, Ermengarde isn't fucked after all. Ah, who knew? I did not even consider Mariette. I wanted that book for myself, but Ermengarde has seen the person who would benefit from it most. What a hero! Right, we need grace and artistry. Artistry is that one. I haven't had any trouble in getting that one when we don't need it. And what's the other one? Grace. And that's that one. Okay, so let's swap it around. So we need a lot of artistry and grace. And that... To really rub it into Ermengarde, we're fucking practicing dance all week for like no good reason. I just realised this is a little too tall. Let's just put that there. That way you can see my double chin. It's all its gloriousness. Fuck. How am I so unlucky? Find just vigour. Sarah was resting in her room with a book when there came a quiet knock on the door. Sarah? What is it, Lottie? Have you come for tea? Mariette has promised us a special treat. Apricot sandwiches. Oh, yes. No. Sarah, you like school, don't you? I'm refusing to say that suffix. We're not in Japan. I don't know. It wasn't something she had previously spent a deal of time deciding. After all, whether I like it or not, I'm here now. I don't think I could say that I don't like it. Everyone is kind to me and my rooms are pleasant. No, I meant school with books and numbers and remembering things. Why are you still dressed like Mary Bo Peep? Like, did no one... Yes, I like books very much. Could you help me with my lessons? Because it's hard to pay attention and then Miss Minchin scolds me. I don't like it when she says my name like that. Miss Lay! I don't like it. But you make everything interesting. Of course I'll help you with your schoolwork, but you still have to learn it. All right. That was that scene! That was that. It just ends there. Great. Good. Alright, well, we have enough knowledge to play with. Please come soon. Please. Sarah, oh Sarah, look what I have. Ermengarde knocked rapidly on Sarah's door with one hand while the other pinned her treasures against her chest. Looks like that. It looks like it's behind her back. That's all I'm saying. When Sarah opened the door, she was surprised to see her friend clinging with such enthusiasm to what had appeared to be a pair of books. Certainly, books would be worthy of Sarah's excitement, but in Ermengarde's hand they seem more commonly to be useless weights tying her down. She's your friend! You can't... Your father sent you something else? Oh no, these aren't from my father. May I come in? Are they fucking picture books? Of course. She held out her arm in elegant invitation, a hostess in miniature. I'll have Mariette fetch us some tea and cakes. Oh no, no cake for me, please. She ducked her head as she walked into Sarah's room and then again to nod a hello to Mariette. It's just that my mother is always sending me hampers of sweets, even if I don't want them. I would rather have bread and butter, if that's all right. I mean, that's possibly the first sensible thing she said all game. If by sweet she means, like, sugary marble shite and, like, Haribo. If she means chocolate, then she can die. But it's England, and sweets doesn't mean candy. Need to be very fucking stern here. Sweets does not equal candy. Chocolate is its own thing. Okay? I'm watching you. Of course it is. But, I mean, over sweets, I think we'd all prefer bread and butter. Oh, and cheese. Oh. I will return shortly, mademoiselle. You tell by my face how much of that I've been eating. Sarah pulled out a chair for Ermengarde, who was still cradling her burden. Are those books something your mother sent then? No, these are from my mother's sister, my Aunt Liza. She lives in the country. She never married, so she inherited my mother's parents' property, and she lives there alone, except when she visits my mother. My father doesn't like her very much because she doesn't agree with him about Irish home rule, and she wasn't very clever at school either. He thinks she is a bad influence. Not gonna look what that is, because I have a good idea of what it is, and it's not going there. I like her. I wish she were always visiting. When I go home, my father is always asking me things like, when did Edward III ascend the throne, and who died of a surfeit of lamp? I don't know. And then my mother says, dear me, Ermengarde, you are very fat and so fucking hell. Oh, Jesus. Oh, what a thing to say to your kid. Aunt Eliza takes me riding and talks about the hunt and Rover and Skipper, her dogs and her gardens. She sent me these. Ermengarde laid out 2 volumes for Sarah's eyes. No, there was only one cloth-bound volume. The other, though a similar size and shape, was in fact a pair of wooden blocks wrapped round with leather straps. It's for flower pressing. You press the flowers tight between the wood blocks and squeeze out all the water inside of them. Great. If you put a sheet of paper inside, sometimes the petals will colour it like a print. When the flowers are dry and flat, then you can frame them, or stick them to the pages of a book with some egg white. See, she sent some pansies for a start. Ermengarde spread open the pages of her book and Sarah bent her dark head to take a closer look. Oh, you can still see all the veins in the petals. If you dry them, when you press them, they don't shrivel up. What a charming hobby. Your aunt is very wise. Well, I'm sure wise is the right word because she knows how to press petals. It is good to know that Ermengarde does have a relative she is fond of. If you'd had a flower press when you were in India, then you could have saved some of the flowers. When I go back there, after I finish school, I will have to press flowers and mail them to you. Go back? It had not occurred to Ermengarde until this moment that Sarah saw her life in England as nothing but a temporary sojourn. Oh, truly, love is fleeting. Yes, I must return to my papa. I miss him dreadfully. Then I will never see you again. Oh. Sarah as well had not entirely considered the consequences of developing friendships at Miss Minchin's and then returning to her home so many hundreds of miles away. It was one thing to think of those whom she loved and missed, but another to consider that she herself would be missed, Missed quite strongly if the look in Ermengarde's eyes was anything to judge by. Well, once I am an adult, I will be able to travel if I please. I see no reason why I couldn't come back to England once in a while. She reached over and touched Ermengarde's hand. I thought that said head, and I was going, that's so condescending, but it says hand, it's fine. If you are waiting for me here, then I will always come back. Ermengarde breathed out a sigh of relief. It would be dreadful if you were gone forever. At that moment, Mariette arrived at last with the tea, and Ermengarde's flower book had been carefully set aside. She's such a twat. Oh, please be this the moment in which you introduce us to a new character. Oh, you don't know how much I long for it.